what technique would you use when you would get a really difficult question or a question you just did not want to touch or answer?
Because it was classified?
Correct. If it was classified, too political, it would put the president and yourself in a precarious situation. It just does not need to be discussed at that present time.
Yeah.
What technique would you use to move it on and just keep the flow going?
Well, the Situation Room is a good example because a lot of what you deal with at the White House is classified information, especially if you're in the midst of two wars.
I mean the White House briefing room. I'm
the
sorry.
briefing room.
Yeah, correct. When you're being bombarded, you're basically having 5 people shout the same question to you and stuff, and you take that question and you really don't.
Well, they didn't shout in my briefing room.
Okay.
I ran a tight ship. But here's the thing: I was determined that every day that I walked in, I had more facts than anybody else, and I made sure that they knew I had more facts than they did. So my briefings lasted an average, believe it or not, of 21 minutes. Tony Snow's briefings were an average of 43 minutes. He wanted to argue with them. I didn't. I wanted to get in there. I knew that they had a job to do, and I responded. I do talk about something in the book that I reveal that I was not necessarily proud of, but the shouting didn't really bother me, but I kind of turned down the temperature in the room because I didn't shout back. If it was something classified and I couldn't talk about it, I might say something like, I know why you're asking, and I have nothing for you. And if you want to come see me later, we can discuss it further. Or let's say that they were going down a road that I would never lie to them. I would never say, don't print that, because I would never give them false information and say, don't print that because it's not true. But I might say, like if I know that it's off by about 10 degrees, I would say, I wouldn't print that yet if I were you. And that was just a signal to them to know that they had a little more work to do. I also never burned them. If a reporter came to me and said, I have this story, and they were about to break it, and that's what a reporter lives for. They're there to break news. So if they came to me that that they had a breaking news, but I couldn't give it to them yet, I would tell them, I promise you that if there comes a time when this story is public, I will come to you first, so that they could get the benefit of it. And I think that's why we had a pretty good relationship. But we had some tough times. We also had a couple of show-offs in the briefing room.